Finally, we are in the last part of the bookkeeping interface. In this video, we are going to work on the interbank transfer. So before we move on, let me just group this one. It's easier to read. Just go to data, group, so that when I close this part, I can view the deposit amount. The first field that we are going to do is the withdrawal bank currency. So let me just copy the formula here. This is the formula we copied from the sales invoice. The only thing we need to change is the type, because we are working on the transaction type boy, which is interbank transfer. Okay, change the type to boy, and we return the transfer currency code. We have a bank type equals boy. We return the currency code. So we should return a currency code here, right? Then we calculate the rate. The rate formula is if the transaction bank currency is 1, that means there's no foreign currency transaction, then we return 1. Otherwise, we will use the transaction total divided by the settlement amount. Okay, let me close the bracket. So let me just go back to our example. We withdraw from bank 0 112 Canadian dollars and we deposit the amount to bank 1 in 100 euro. Okay? Actually, in an interbank transfer transaction, you won't make any gain or loss, right? It's just the difference in different currencies. That means the settlement of 100 euro times 1.12 Canadian dollar divided by 1 euro, then you will have the deposit amount in withdrawal currency in Canadian dollar. 100 times 1.12 equals 112. I should add some more to the formula because just to make sure that I filled in the transaction total and the settlement amount. Let me just add a few things to it. Just wrap around the whole thing with if error, comma, then I return 1, okay? And it will be easier. Okay, so that means we have 1 here. Then we move on to the currency unit. It should return the withdrawal currency above the line and the settlement currency below the line. So we just paste formula and let me change the things in between. We have the transfer code on top of the line. We have to use this one, the string, to indicate the division, and the settle code, okay, actually is an 1. So that in our case, our settle amount is 100 euro times 1.12 Canadian dollar and then divided by 1 euro. It will equal 112 Canadian dollar. The formula for this one is if withdrawal bank currency is 1, that means no foreign currency transaction. Then I return a dash. Otherwise, I will return the transaction total. In this case, 112 Canadian dollar. Okay, close it. So we need the rate to convert the deposit amount back to the reporting currency because we are going to report the reporting currency in our financials. Usually, one of the withdrawal or deposit bank is in your reporting currency. But in some cases, if you perform an interbank transfer in currencies other than your ledger currency, then you may run into issues. That's why we need to convert the deposit amount back to the withdrawal bank currency before we transfer the withdrawal bank currency to the ledger currency. Okay, I know it's a little bit complicated. When we create our journal entries, you know what I mean. So that's it for the data entry part. Starting from the next video, I'm going to talk about how to create journal entries and user reports based on the bookkeeping records. Okay, stay tuned.